Now, I was really reluctant to film today's video, but I feel like it is a must, and we have a lot of updates with the GTR. Actually, oops, let's go ahead and open up the hood, because a lot of the meat of today's video will reside where we're going to be talking about the trials and tribulations of owning a GTR R35, especially, I just hit the camera, especially the first gen. So let me just preface you guys on what has happened in the past month. The car has been at Nestor since you guys last saw it. It was towed away to Nestor's shop, and then we went ahead and tried to address all the details. Now, I haven't driven the car since October, and it was just throwing a bunch of codes, and I'm sorry if you guys hear the dogs of my neighbors barking out loud, but we had the car sitting since October. We sent it to Nestor, I want to say mid-January, and then we tried to dive, and we had to take care of a lot of stuff as well. So one of the things that you can't really see on the car is that we upgraded the bell housing, because the bell housing is one of the things for a first gen R35 that kind of fails because of the shaft play with the bell housing. So that was replaced, and luckily I was able to buy it on Black Friday, which now the bell housing is a lot stronger because it's rated to be at about, or to hold about 1,000 horsepower, so that's a plus. But then still yet, after changing the bell housing, we did notice that we still had some cold storing on the car. The car was still wasn't running properly, and then we went ahead and shout out to our friend Leo, but he suspected that it was the ABS module for the GTR R35. Now, the thing about the first gen GTR R35 ABS modules and pump is that the pump itself does get some problems, and I don't know why it's like that, but basically we had to have this rebuilt. The module is okay, it's still programmed to the GTR R35. For those of you guys that don't know, if you guys have to change a whole new module setup with the pump, you're gonna have to get it recalibrated to your car. But luckily we had to just change the pump for the ABS, so shout out to our friend Leo, he had that rebuilt for us. So that's running properly. And then after that, I was so excited to pick up the car. I actually had Nestor drive the car home, and I was gonna pick it up from him one night, and this was, when was this? This was Saturday night. So last Saturday night, I went ahead, picked the GTR, drove it all around for a little bit. I even took it to Cars and Coffee the next morning, and then I even took the car to work. Everything from the car was running very smoothly. Everything was running completely well, and it felt a lot stronger, being that we have the upgraded bell housing, so it just felt a little bit more confident driving the car. And then somehow, as I was jumping on the freeway to go home from work, it just went ahead and threw a bunch of codes. So let's go ahead, start up the GTR, and I'll show you guys exactly what we're gonna have to be tackling now. Man, it's hot in here, but let's get this. Oh yeah, still sounds good. Now, the thing about the GTR is that when it happened, when it was running a bunch of codes, and well, actually, before we even get to that, let's just show you guys. Engine system malfunction. It even, prior to that, it had VDC off, and it was showing traction control. So surprisingly enough, it's not throwing the traction control light right now, so that's another thing I'm gonna have to worry about. Let's turn on the AC, but let's go ahead, read the codes, because now that's just gonna be another problem we're gonna have to deal with, because now it's throwing air temperature sensors for bank 1, turbocharger boost system bank 2, turbocharger boost system bank 1. What else? All these EV units, it's all right. Trans, okay, that's another one that I didn't see the last time. ABS 1130. Now I don't know if these are all fail safes, and then of course TPMS, but that's not big of a deal. There was another one that was there, but so we do not know why. It has to do with the intake sensors for one, because we switched from a MAF sensor to a speed density. So I also had Nestor reach out to our tuner, who is the one basically that knows the ins and outs of the car. He recommends that I finally switch over from Cobb to Ecotec, because the Cobb system that I'm running, guys, is a lot older, and I think it's probably one of the first few generations of the Cobb before they went ahead and did the update where they have to limit the car to be eco-friendly, if that makes sense. So the better way to do it is probably switch over to Ecotec, because Ecotec, we can dive into more stuff and tweak more things and fine-tune more stuff with the car. So hopefully it's just because of the fact that the software is really, really old for the Cobb, that it's not, how do I say it, it's not communicating properly with the GTR. So that's going to be another problem we're going to have to deal with. So again, we're going to have to go and take it back to the shop. Most likely I am going to have it re-dyno tuned, that way we can fine-tune everything, and then from there, if it doesn't work, then I don't know what to do. Because for another weird thing too that we all just don't understand is that the car still drives fine even though like all these codes came up, because I drove the car a good like 30-40 minutes from work to home, and even though it was like throwing all different weird codes, it was still running fine. So we really don't know exactly what the problem is tripping. I even checked all of the inlet pipes of the intercooler, all of that, make sure I wasn't having any leaks. Everything is still solid and secure. So if you guys are watching this video and maybe have, you know, any suggestions of stuff to check, let me know, because it'll really help. But that'll just be the update for the GTR. Oh, and I also forgot one more thing with the GTR. We had to get the battery replaced, because the Optima yellow top battery, which is my second one in the last, I don't know, 2 years, and granted I haven't even driven the car as long, it's been going to crap, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the drain from the airlift system, being that the car is, even though it's off, it's still draining the battery. But being that it is an Optima yellow top battery, I would figure it'd perform a lot better. But then again, I've also had some complaints from other people that use a yellow top battery, and it's not doing well. So if you guys have any other suggestions for batteries, let me know. Shout out to Nestor for having an extra one, but we still have to figure out what in the world is going on with this car. Sounds great, runs fine. I don't know why it's giving us such big headaches. We got the ABS taken care of. So just to elaborate on the ABS system a little bit more, it mainly happens for the first gen R35 GTRs, only because for whatever reason the brushes in the pump itself, it basically malfunctions. So you're gonna have to get that replaced or rebuilt. If you get it replaced, you have to replace the whole module, get it reprogrammed, which is gonna cost you upwards of, I don't know, 2 to 3 grand. But if you do a rebuild, and if you find the right people that know how to rebuild it, that's going to be a lot more cheaper. So I went with that route, and luckily somebody here back home already is able to do it, so that's why I did it. And then the other thing too is that for the first gen GTRs, where is it? I don't even know why I'm looking, but the bell housing, right around 26,000 miles or so, that's when it starts to go really bad. And actually, let's go ahead and check out the old one, because I still have it. All right, so we have the GTR R35 bell housing. This is the first gen GTR R35 bell housing, and this is basically where the drive shaft connects. And for the first gens, over time, these wear out pretty fast. So right around the 26,000 mile mark, the bearing starts to get kind of bad. So that's what gives it that clunky and like chattery sound whenever you start driving the car, or you put the car into drive, or from a dead stop and then you're just engaging into the gears. This right here starts to get a little rattly, and I don't think you can hear it, but you can hear that rattle. So that shaft play is actually not good. It's not secure enough. So it's really essentially, when it's turning, it's not turning as in a secure state. It's kind of walking a little bit, if that makes sense. So that's one thing that we had to get replaced for the car. And if you guys wait till Black Friday, usually they have sales on these for Black Friday, so just a heads up. Now if you guys are wondering where to get this from, I usually get mines from ATR, so that's where I go ahead and shop for the bell housing. They're really well known for doing this hundreds of thousands of times for all the GTR guys, especially if the guys that want to go built, they have stronger ones as well. Also, another thing you can do is have it painted to a different color, but really, who is gonna see your bell housing unless it's just probably your mechanic? But you can also do the option of taking yours out, shipping yours away, then they can send a new one over to you. Or what you can do is just pay a little bit extra to have them send you the new bell housing, and then afterwards you can go ahead and ship it out and get your core deposit back. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing with the bell housing. Now comment down below, should we get the carbon trim for all of the pieces that sits around the engine bay? So it'll be this right here, it'll be this plastic trim over here, and then that plastic trim over there. Just to give you guys a heads up, I do have the manifold cover coming in pretty soon in carbon fiber. I'm gonna be picking it up from one of our GTR owners here, and I just got it for a huge steal. Now another thing too is, what do you guys think about having carbon mirrors? I'm kind of iffy about it, only because I don't think it's gonna flow nicely with the car, because already the top over here is carbon and the rear wing is carbon as well. But then having carbon just sitting on the side, I don't know if it's gonna flow as well. Let me know in the comments though. Should we do it? Should we not? Now I know you guys also might be wondering, what about the Shelby? So I've actually been able to drive the Shelby and daily it for like about a month or so, and don't get me wrong, it's fun, but I've had just so you guys know, I've had surgery on my left knee years ago, and then after some time of daily driving the GT500, I kind of feel a little bit pain in my left knee, so I don't think that's gonna be a good idea anymore. Then again, you guys don't know either, the Shelby is actually for sale. Well, I'm actually not in a rush to sell the car, but I have the GTR, the GT500 up for sale. So if any guys are interested in a GT500 and want to buy one, let me know. Very well kept condition, ceramic coated, light mods, fun mods, and yeah, reason why I'm selling it, that's a secret. Now I know today's video is gonna be kind of short and uneventful, but at the same time, my intention was to make this video very informational so that you guys know, and for, you know, possibly for those of you guys that are future GTR owners or current first generation R35 GTR owners, that you guys are also informed about the problems that I'm going through. And you know, it ain't always gonna be sunshine and rainbows with owning this car, and this is a thing that I accepted, and it's just unfortunate that it's happening now. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully, I really hope and pray that everything will turn out to be good. Now I know that our tuner Seth is gonna be at Texas 2K all the way in Texas, and that's a huge event, so probably it might take some time till we get you know, our schedules like to line up and do the proper tuning for the GTR on EcuTech. But in the meantime, how do I say this? I'm thinking about making other moves, and it's gonna be kind of crazy, but I think it's gonna be all worth it. So I hope you guys are still sticking around. For those of you guys, I still check the analytics. I know I haven't been posting like as consistently as I should have, but I still check the analytics and still seeing you guys, you know, coming to the channel, watching some videos. Some of the old videos that I've posted are still getting views, which is super cool. So I thank you guys again. And if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys subscribe, share the channel with your friends. It'll really help, you know, just to have some automotive content just in Hawaii. And I think that'll be a huge thing, just to put Hawaii on the map. Just another side thing too, I haven't made any definitive merch, or I haven't even announced a lot of stuff, but I actually have definitive Hawaii shirts, which is very, very limited, and I'm never ever gonna make it again. So for those of you guys that want definitive Hawaii shirts, it's already live on the website. So go ahead and purchase. I'm gonna be the one packaging them for you and doing all of that stuff. And also I'm working on either doing socks, shorts, or oversized t-shirts. So let me know what you guys want. Maybe I might be able to do all of it, but we'll see. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. The GTR will be back. I don't even want to say soon, but the GTR will be back. Shelby will be, probably Shelby's gonna be on for the next video as we go and take a drive with it. But I'll see you guys on the next video. Remember, you guys are all called to be great in your own way, and most importantly, stay driven.